Welcome everybody to another Xbox Series podcast. It's been 2 weeks. We missed one. We missed last week. It was devastating for everyone involved. All of you were having an awful time missing this show, I'm sure of it, but we're back now, so everything is good. We've already had a super chat from Sith Lord saying this is the podcast that is okay with pineapple on pizza. Which, there's definitely worse things that you can put on a pizza. Deadly Headley's a fan. Gamzly is going to hold that face for a little while longer. While I tell you that before we went live today, Deadly Headley was playing with his fancy Apple software, doing little thumbs up and making bubbles appear. And Gamzly was howling like a banshee. Is there any chance, Gamzly, that you're going to sing for the audience like you just inflicted on us?
There's zero fucking chance, Asa. There's zero chance.
I thought you were a confident lad.
No, there's zero chance. Actually, I wanted to ask you how your wedding was.
What did you?
How was the honeymoon?
Did you? What if I don't play into this at all and just... yeah, welcome back everybody. So it has been a couple of weeks. Deadly Headley, how have you been?
I've been really good. Actually, that's a fucking lie. I've been really, really stressed again. But I have played so many games. I've been really, really busy, but I have also managed to play a hell of a lot of games, which has been really fun. It's been 2 weeks. It feels like it's been ages, and it sort of has. Just want to shout out to Wandering Dutch and Boxenberger for having me on their show last week. So anyone who did miss us last week, I saw you guys hanging out in the chat with us.
Boxing?
That's really cool.
That's crazy.
No, Boxenberger, not with boxing.
Boxing burgers? I don't get it. Anyways, just continue.
We had a good time over there. It's because Gamzly wasn't there, and yeah, we had a good time. So that was quite nice to do because usually our shows overlap, so we never actually get to do guest show stuff with them. So yeah, took that opportunity while you were away, sunning yourself up for a few days and being very ambiguous with the activities you got up to.
I told you, I did everything. I did all of the activities.
You did everything.
It was a hell of a day. It was hell of a day. Gamzly, talk to me. How have you been?
Dude, I don't know where I am. I feel like
you're on the Xbox Series podcast. We go live 8 p.m. Thursday in the UK, or 3 p.m. Eastern, or 12 p.m.
Nobody
Pacific.
cares.
Please make sure that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it out with your friends, all that sort of
this
stuff.
isn't your intro, Headley.
You wanted to know where you are, Gamzly. I'm just helping you out, my brother.
So in Montreal, we have this like summer festival around this time every year, and I've just been drunk for like 4 days. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I am. I don't know what my name is.
We are on the
I have no
Xbox
idea.
Series.
What is my real name? What's my real name, Headley? Can you remind me? Don't remind me.
It's
I don't want to know.
Headley.
Yeah. But besides that, I've actually been the one that has played the least games, I think, on the list this week. That's nice to hear. I just didn't have time. Oh yeah, I forgot. The biggest news is I'm an uncle, so I like being an uncle. I got to see my little nephew this whole week, actually. Not drunk, I didn't drop
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a good mix. 4 days drunk, met the nephew.
I could barely hold things right now. I doubt I would do that drunk. But yeah, I bonded with the little guy. He's adorable. I can't wait to post a bunch of pictures on social media and hide his face with pineapples or whatever the fuck. But yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. Thank you.
Well, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, of course. So, Deadly Headley, we're going to get into talking about games now. For everyone that's here, you know how this show works. We like to talk about games, and then we get into some of the topics. We try and keep up with you. YouTube is being a pain and not letting me type under my own name, which is unfortunate. But we're still reading. We're still interactive. Let's get on with talking about some games. Deadly Headley, you said you've been playing loads of games. Have you finished your homework? Have you finished? I've forgotten the name of the bloody game, Hellblade 2, or have you moved on?
I have not finished Hellblade 2.
It takes
I didn't play that.
It takes 6 hours in total. How could you have done
apparently.
Yeah.
No, so the first game that I've been playing, and this is completely left field, in the UK, there is a city called Birmingham, or Birmingham if you're from the States, but we don't call it Birmingham, we call it Birmingham. They have a Formula One arcade, and it is basically a pretty nice bar full of Formula One racing simulators. And we went there for a friend's stag party, which was really, really fun. Shout out to him for organising it. We had a lot of fun there. It's basically like Mario Kart for adults in simulators. It's all really well run. If you're part of a group, laps or your rounds take about 5 minutes, give or take, to do, and then it will cycle over to the next group of players. So it sort of flows quite quickly. You're not constantly waiting for different races of various times to finish, so it all moves really smoothly. That was really fun. So if you're in the UK or you're ever visiting the UK, I'd recommend going and checking some of that out. Yeah, a little bit of a left field one that I didn't really prepare anybody for, but that's fine. Just wanted to give it a shout out because
that's cool. I get it. So it takes you 5 minutes. It'll probably take me more like 4.5. It sounds like a good time. I say that I'm not good at racing games.
To be fair, neither am I. I kept the difficulty fairly low because we could. At one point, though, it was quite funny. The stag was forced onto like Elite Pro difficulty, and it's a full-on F1 sim. So it's got all the fucking paddles and there's different like dials and buttons and stuff. I don't know what any of them do because I don't follow Formula One at all. But he's obviously being on a stag and being the stag. Had a few beverages, so wasn't really in a place to drive that successfully, which, you know, we all found probably a lot funnier than he did. He laughed too, so it's fine. This next game you're going to hate me for, because I know how you feel about stealth.
I swear to God.
Stealth? I know how you feel about stealth, but also I don't care. I've been playing Assassin's Creed
The Last of
Mirage.
Us. Ah, damn it.
No, I've not been playing The Last of Us this week.
Assassin's Creed what?
Potato.
Oh no, it's gone. Your VPN's on, Deadly Headley. You fix that while I tell you. On the topic of driving, see, this is not particularly game related. I have like a 12 and a 15-year-old kid, and they got to drive.
Sorry,
you're back. They got to drive.
Yeah, I was back.
Wait. They got to drive a Lamborghini and a Ferrari each. Real cars. Fancy.
What did I miss? I was gone for like 5 seconds.
You were gone for 5 seconds, so I just took over and started talking like complete nonsense about one of the activities I got up to in the day of everything. You turned into a robot. Really I'm assuming. Was it a VPN issue? Are you back with us if you disabled it?
Are you?
Yeah. Perfect.
I forgot to turn it off.
Now carry on and tell us about Assassin's Creed, whichever Assassin's Creed it is you've been playing.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I'm really enjoying. So this is the one that came out last year. I'm enjoying within reason, don't get me wrong. It's not the game I'm enjoying the most at the moment. Basically, pros, it's quite a nice Assassin's Creed game. I really like the Middle Eastern setting. As far as I'm aware, the game's not been back there since, I'd say, the original, or maybe a spin-off quite early on in the series. I'm not sure. Visually, very impressive. Gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. It doesn't overcomplicate it like some of the other more recent AC games. Downside, it's still a Ubisoft game. It's a lot of map stuff, but I've enjoyed it as a game that I can kind of just switch my brain off to a certain extent.
I thought
just go and have some fun.
One of the major structural design decisions they made for this one was to not make it a big map game, a checklisty game, like a typical Assassin's Creed. I thought the whole point of this one was to be more streamlined. Is it not?
So I actually quite like the way the missions are structured. Basically, you're given investigations, and those investigations
I hate this game so much.
Yeah, I knew you would. I was playing this like, Ace is gonna fucking hate this.
No, Deadly does this on purpose. You know, he plays Assassin's Creed just to spite you. He plays The Last of Us just to hate me. You know,
I watched the shit out of Lost just to see if Gamzly would. Guess what? He did. He actually did.
And I fucking hate. I hate it. I hate you for it. But anyways, continue.
My master plan. I'm not smart enough to pull off shit like that, Gamzly. You're giving me way too much credit, mate. So. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Yeah, you're given in investigations. Each of those have like sort of smaller quests, whether it be to go and sort of obtain something, go and speak to a person, you find out some sort of clue. Those then help you sort of build up the larger assassination mission. It's worth noting I'm not like super far into it. But again, it's one of those games where if I've had a long game, if I've had a long day and I don't really want to think too hard, I've really enjoyed dropping into that. I am not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I used to like them a lot. I used to really like Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I loved that era of the series. I liked Origins a lot, but it just sort of, I don't know, the formula had kind of lost its magic by that point, I think.
The Assassin's Creed for me, I don't think I've beat an Assassin's Creed yet. Like recent Assassin's Creed take me so freaking much time to like go back. I go back and forth a lot between these to try to finish it. I haven't finished one. The last time I finished one truly by like sitting down every day or every week, whatever, to complete something, I think it was Black Flag. Black Flag I completed all the way through like in a span of like a month, and I would constantly play it to beat it.
Yeah.
But ever since they like became bigger and bigger, I just can't do it. Like I did Valhalla. I beat Valhalla, but it took me like it took me the whole year, even more than a year to beat that game. It's crazy. I can't do it anymore, man. I hope they shrink down again. But you know, well they did. They did.
That's kind of what they've done with Assassin's Creed Mirage, to be fair. And yeah, I mean, the area that you're exploring is a lot smaller. I really liked Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I thought that game was great. Right, I'm getting some confusion in chat. I've just turned my fan off, but now I'm warm, and I don't like being warm. So if I turn this back on and I start talking stuff, saying things. If this starts bothering anybody, then let me know. Otherwise, I'll move my mic further away from the fan. Either way,
dude,
it's hot in this room.
That's
guys.
A fan? That was a fan? I thought it was like Asa booting up. You know what I mean? His little
That's
heart valves going.
That's the cover story.
Yeah, so
okay, cool.
Do you know what? I've never played Assassin's Creed really. I walked down
did. Final Fantasy
under like
VII.
an archway in what's it called? Syndicate, and like I killed a guy. That's as far as I ever got in an Assassin's Creed game. Gamzly's expressive, and I don't know what's happening, but that is fine. The thing that I did was I promised Gamzly that I'll play Dungeons of Hinterberg. But Gamzly didn't really deserve any promises from me, so I haven't actually played it at all. I've just been sticking to a lot of Doom. Finished Doom 2016. Wait a minute, I've muted something. I've finished Doom 2016, which was brilliant. I'm playing Doom Eternal, which is brilliant, but not as good as Doom 2016. And I've betrayed myself, my years of obstinate hatred for Call of Duty. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. I say a lot.
You've been doing a lot of community stuff. Maybe tell the community about your community stuff before we do anything else.
No. I don't obey commands.
Fair enough.
They don't say I didn't try. Okay, where's Dodge? He's gonna lose his shit when he gets to this bit.
He's somewhere helping people. God bless his soul.
He's not gonna be happy, I say.
Okay, by the way, tell us, all right, Asa, how amazing community nights are on Sunday as you murder everybody in Black Ops. Tell us, just say.
Well, Black Ops isn't out yet, so come the end of the year, if I keep playing Modern Warfare a bunch, then maybe I'll be able to murder people in Black Ops. They are brilliant. Every Sunday we play lots of multiplayer games. They're not always Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is popular right now since it drops onto Game Pass. If you've followed any of the content around here or any of this show or the other ones that I do, I've always said I don't care about Call of Duty in the slightest, but that I would play it once when it went on Game Pass because community nights would insist upon it. And it happened, and we played it on the Sunday after it came into Game Pass. And actually, I didn't hate it. I had quite a good time. Most of the reasoning behind it being fun is that I was playing it with the community. It's a bunch of good people, and it makes every game fun to play. But it was good enough that I've played it more since.
Crazy, a multiplayer game. A multiplayer game that's meant to play with friends being amazing while playing with friends. That's crazy.
What amazing is like not what I said, Gamzly. You're putting words into my mouth there. I said it was surprisingly it was all right. Right? And there's a fair gap between this is all right and it's amazing. But I had some fun with it. Have either of you two jumped on that recently? No, you go on then.
Did you play single player? Did you play single player?
I played like the first mission of single player. Not the first. So
how were you feeling?
Do you know what? You know what I love in games, and you know what I hate in games. I hate stealth, and I love storms. So the game opens up with both, and I'm like, oh, I'm so torn. I'm in a storm. I'm supposed to be sneaky. This is confusing. But I pushed on, got through that. Did the first mission. I wasn't very impressed by what I've seen of the campaign. But then you meet the main team. You meet like what they call Ghost and Fish or something. None of them are called Fish, but they all talk with really stupid voices, and I couldn't take it seriously. I was like, what is this? This is a big budget game. Why do you sound so phony? I'm not in a rush to get back to the campaign, to be honest. But I will jump onto the campaign. I'll jump onto the multiplayer when people are doing that. And I played a bit of zombies as well, but that was kind of terrible to me. People will disagree with that. Yeah, so I played zombies first of all with Demon Hunter on the community, and he was with me and slating it as being shite. Like, it wasn't much fun. You get two kinds of zombie games. You get like really tense horror ones that play on the fear of death and whatever. And they're always in the dark, obviously. And you get like your Left 4 Dead kind of, there's a massive horde and you're just blowing stuff to smithereens. And Modern Warfare Zombies mode sits awkwardly in between those, where it's a big open space and the zombies are quite sparse, really. There's no tension and there's no massive horde, and it just didn't feel great to play. Demon Hunter and a couple of the others, Chronic and Wayne and Tony as well, they now love zombies, and they told me Demon Hunter says it's because we played it wrong and I might actually enjoy it if we had a bit more direction in what we were doing, but I don't believe them. So that was the Zombies mode, and we'll talk more about Zombies mode because Call of Duty 6, I should have used this a bit later as a perfect segue into one of the main topics of the show, but we're not going to. We're going to put that one off and carry on talking about more games. So,
yes.
So,
I will talk about one game that I've been playing, and also, by the way, before I get to that, Headley, have you watched Deadpool?
Yeah, I actually went to go and see it with Mrs.
Because I saw your GIF. Yeah, I saw your GIF, and I instantly smiled because that movie's amazing. I'm not going to derail this conversation, but it was freaking hilarious. Go watch that movie, please. Asa, you're a robot. You don't like,
Lost, but it's pretty good.
You don't like funny stuff, right? You don't like Deadpool,
I don't like funny stuff. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm hilarious. I love funny stuff. No.
Did you go check out the movie yet?
Chat? How do you guys feel about the MCU generally? You guys...
I loved it. I used to love it.
I've not seen Deadpool. Don't worry, everyone. There's no Deadpool spoilers coming. I won't allow it.
Yeah.
No, we won't do that.
I was heavily into that. Listen, why am I getting teamed up? You know what I mean? You guys, anyways, it's all jealousy. All right, I love the MCU. No, I used to love the MCU, but then it just went sideways. I don't care anymore. But there are some things. Well, I guess that's the thing about comic book movies and comics in general. That they have a wide variety and half of them miss, but when they hit, they're really strong. And that's how I feel about the MCU at the moment. It just really is like comics, but like TV and movie. So half of this stuff is really trash right now, but the other, 70% of it is really trash right now, but the other 30 is quite good. And I put Deadpool up there as the good stuff. It was really fun, and Loki as well the last season. But anyway, go see that stuff. Sorry, I derailed that, but I've been playing Creatures of Ara. Is it Ara? Yeah, Ava.
Ava.
Yeah, Ava.
The one that came out yesterday.
Yeah. It's that like explorative kind of adventure game that you just go around cataloging creatures and also saving them from, whatever rot is corrupting them. It's quite it's really fun actually. Um, it reminds me a little bit of Pokemon Snap, but not okay. That's a weird. You're not on rails or anything. Like you're in this open-ish world, and you walk around trying to save these animals and take pictures of them and see what their favorite stuff is and what they like to do, and you get skill points for it every time you level up. And you also have this like flute that plays like Ocarina of Time, where you could play a song to connect with the animal, and then when you connect with the animal has certain abilities that you use to go through certain puzzles. It's really awesome and fun. I didn't expect to like it so much, but it hooked me, kind of like Hinterberg, right? I didn't expect to like it at all, and I just find myself in a loop with it. And it's quite satisfying. So in every kind of region you kind of explore to get to the next big quest, you have to help all the animals. Like you have a quota to basically tame and rescue these animals within set region before you could continue. It's just fun. I'm enjoying the loop. But yeah, that's Creatures of Aura. Ava, damn it. What's Aura? What am I getting Aura from?
Coming soon.
Aura
PC,
history
Xbox Game Pass one.
Okay, I got it. So yeah, I keep confusing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, you just run around, solve puzzles, help animals. It's fun. It's a fun time. Take pictures. It's quite a good time. Go play it if you can. I would say definitely, not a spectacular game, but it's definitely better than Crash Bandicoot trilogy. So go play that.
Oh, Gamzly, people are going to think that you set the title for this stream, but it was not. Have you seen that? I said it fairly late, but
yes,
yeah, we're all massive Crash Bandicoot fans, and maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. No, we're not. No, well, Deadly Headley might be. We've got to give him a chance to have his own thoughts,
Not massive. I was when I was a kid, but it was, I don't know, it was a PS1. Like, we're in a very different time of game experience now.
I'm not going to do a Crash Bandicoot rant again. Everyone knows.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Stop talking about Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
I think so. Was it?
Is either episode 1 or episode 2? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Crash sucks.
Like, blew all love for Crash out the water. He was like, fuck that. We're not doing it.
Before we continue with that, all right? I did say GIF, all right? Get over it, you freaking
yes,
flakes.
Gamzly.
You know what I mean?
Gamzly.
GIF, all right?
Jeez. Too late.
Diablo, Brotato, Potato, it doesn't matter, all right? Just let the Canadians speak how they want to speak. Canadians don't actually speak like me. I'm just weird. All right, so yeah, besides that, I actually did dabble in Crash Bandicoot, and I will admit, okay, all you Crash fans, it was really fun until any of them speak, and then you want to shoot your brains out. But yeah, I'll just leave it there. They're just terrible noises, everywhere. The noises are just awful. And then
we at Xbox Era, obviously. Xbox Era? Jesus, we are not Xbox Era. We at the Xbox Series podcast do not recommend shooting brains out. Just
no, I'm so sorry. That was rude. I'm sorry, bleep me out. But Hyla bleep me out. But yeah, the noise, the sound and everything, like all the sound in that game is awful. And I think that's why I just can't connect with it. But yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Asa. Since you like to talk about
didn't
sound.
play it enough to get into. I like to talk about sound. Do I often mention sound?
Yeah,
I didn't play that
it sounds
much.
awful. Oh, whoop-a-doop-a-doo. This sounded awful. Oh my god. You always say that. That's like your opening line.
Yeah.
Right before this, you're like,
when we
sound
do,
levels are awful and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes. When we do the mic checks, that is usually the feedback that I have for you. We do our best to recover it before we go live. So, yeah. Do you know what? I've got no questions about that animal game. Which should I play first? That one or Hinterberg, if you had to choose?
Hinterberg.
Okay, good, because I'm not going to play either. Oh, well, I'm going to do
Wow.
Hinsberg at some point.
You guys are rude. Anyways, on Game Pass, by the way, all of them, both of them, all these games I'm talking about. All right, go play it. Anyways, you were gonna say? Whoa, what mug is that? What mug is that?
None of your business. So,
Show me.
No.
Is that a
No,
WoW
you're
mug?
just going to have to watch. No, it's
What is
not.
it?
You're going to have to watch for the rest of the show very closely and see if you can catch
What
a
are you
glance.
drinking in it though? Coffee?
Wouldn't you like to know? No, not coffee. So, I
Maccas?
want to don't answer any of Gamz's
Matchas.
questions kind of mood today. So, Headley, what other games have you been playing? You said you got a big old list.
So I have also been playing the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty expansion, which has been on my list of things to play this year for quite some time now. I again probably good hour and a bit, maybe just shy of 2 hours into that. The story's sort of well and truly kind of kicked off. I'm at the point where the game basically goes, all right, go and find some stuff to do. We've introduced you to all the people we want you to meet, and sort of set out the lay of the land and the problem that you're going to have to try and figure out.
When you say you're
good.
2 hours in, is that 2 hours into Phantom Liberty or 2 hours into Cyberpunk?
Phantom Liberty. Yeah, I finished Cyberpunk when it came out. To be fair, I sort of mainlined the crap out of that. It was very, very good. I have started a new playthrough before starting Phantom Liberty. So I think I started a new playthrough as female V because I played as a male the first time round. I have changed my playstyle a little bit compared to the first one. I was much more gun focused in my first playthrough. This time round, I've been running a Blades and Netrunner build, which has been really fun. The new skill tree in Cyberpunk, the Cyberpunk 2.0 update, if you haven't checked that out, by the way, you really, really should. There's Dodge. Dodge, you'll be very, very proud of me, mate. We actually promoted some stuff. Asa refused. I told everyone here you'd be livid. Please go back, find that, and then, obviously, have a word with him at some point. What are you going to do? Anyway, I've been playing Cyberpunk. I'm in a really good mood today, guys. I've missed this show. I'm glad it's Thursday. And I actually have games to talk about. I missed your face too, Gamzly.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Liar.
Somebody didn't. Look at the state of him.
I'm out.
Yeah. So the Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk 2.0 update. What is that, Gamzly? You're showing on screen.
That's just the Poro. Don't worry about it. League of Legends. Just continue.
So the Cyberpunk 2.0 update is really, really cool. If you haven't checked that out, it gives you a lot of flexibility over your skill tree and the ability to sort of sell off the perks that you don't want to get the perk points back to then invest into something else, so you can customize your playstyle on the fly a lot more easily. They've also changed the way the perk tree is structured to sort of pick the path to the thing that you want a little bit easier. I'm still having to put quite a lot of time in to get the things that I want in this playthrough that I'm running right now. But so far, I'm really enjoying being back on Cyberpunk. This is coming from someone who liked it at launch because I played it on the Series X, so I didn't really have any performance issues with it at launch. But Cyberpunk's in a great shape. So if you haven't picked it up yet, or you were thinking about jumping into the DLC, I highly recommend it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I did see. No, me first, Gamzly. The perks and things. The fact that they revamped all of those and made them all so interesting to choose and customize your character. I haven't done Phantom Liberty. I need to go back to it. But the fact that they changed all that, not one of the few things, the game did quite a few things wrong in terms of being rocky at launch in terms of bugs and things. And I did experience a fair amount of that. So the criticism of it was fairly warranted. But in terms of design and gameplay improvements, one thing that I hate in games is when you get all of these skills that you can choose from. You get this skill tree or whatever mechanism you've got, and it's you can do an extra 1.5% damage with for 10 seconds after reloading, and it pisses me off when they're that trivial and they make no difference to anything. And they used to be a bit like that in Cyberpunk. It used to be like you put 3 points in and you've got 10% extra damage with shotguns or something like that. But now it's like you put a point in and you've got a new move to launch yourself into space and explode everybody's heads or something. Like it's meaningful expenditure of points and progress and leveling up. So I cannot wait to get back into it. I say, obviously I can wait, or I would have done it by now because it's been out for quite a while. Freaking fraud I am. Gamzly.
It seems like they were with the first skill tree. They were kind of, and then the weapon loadouts and all that stuff. They were really trying to go for like pen and spreadsheet users, like spreadsheet players, where they're trying to like get the best build possible and do all those number crunching stuff. But it's just not satisfying to me either. So I agree with you on that. Man, it just transformed the whole game. I've touched up on Cyberpunk again, I think last month, and I love that game. By the way, my ending was not at all the proper ending because I wanted to see what would happen if I did the ending, like if I pressed that and it just ended, and I was just like, that was sad. I didn't even get to the last mission. I didn't get to do all the good stuff. I just ended it there. And I was surprised it let me do that. But anyways, so I'm replaying it and trying to get all the other good endings and all that stuff. So it's a massive, beautiful game, and I think you guys, if you didn't play since launch, go play that game.
Have you ever had in a game? I'm going to give my example first. Like, have you ever had a bad ending? It's really difficult to talk about without spoilers. No, bad endings are okay. Have you ever had a really abrupt one that surprised you? Because I was playing quite a while ago, and my favourite abrupt ending was We Happy Few, which isn't a good game because it's entirely stealth-based. But it had that art style that drew me in. I thought, I'll give it a go. And right at the start of the game, it's like, do you want to take the happy drug, the joy or whatever it is, or not? And I was like, yeah, all right then. And it said, game over. I was like, holy fuck, Dave Mack, I do complete games. I did one. I finished.
Yeah, well, that my example is Cyberpunk because I shaved off like, I think I had 4 hours to go at least, right? If I did everything properly, and I ended it right there, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that was gonna. I didn't really know that was gonna happen. So that was my example. How about you, Headley?
It's a good question. Honestly, and this is a bit of a weird example because I think my experience for this game was fairly unique compared to most. And Gamzly, you're going to fucking love this answer because it is The Last of Us Part 1. I had what I thought was the ending for that game spoiled for me. So annoyingly, I spent most of that game waiting for the thing to happen, only to find out that it actually happened within the first 20 minutes, half an hour of Last of Us Part 2. So that was irritating. When it ended, I was kind of just like, oh, this ended way more abruptly than I thought it would. Thankfully, I could then go and finish the rest of that story. Gamzly is actually not still back. That's impressive. For anyone who doesn't get the Last of Us joke, by the way, Gamzly is constantly livid by the fact that one of my favorite game series of all time is The Last of Us, and we are obviously an Xbox
Did you
show.
stop talking about that yet? Oh, we're still talking about it.
I haven't. I'm just.
We moved on to the show now. That's crazy.
So yeah, you know, it's sort of it's the card you play whenever the console warriors come after you and go, hey, you know, one of my favorite IPs is on your plastic box that you really like. But yeah, that obviously rubs Gamzly up the wrong way because he is actually a hardcore console warrior. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh yeah, hardcore.
That's all lies. Like, we play on everything.
Is it a lie? Secretly? No. It's complete lie.
To be fair, I can't remember the last time I turned on my PS5.
You know, it's crazy because I'm in my new place now. Obviously, I've been in my new place for like 2-ish months. Time is a blur to me. I don't know. And I still haven't unpacked anything. Like, not my PlayStation 5 has been in my suitcase for like ever, and I haven't thought twice about it, which is crazy. But I was hooked onto it before the move. I was playing a lot, but I am not.
Slight sort of sidetrack. because I think we'll get onto this topic at some point, or just the topic of comparing platforms as most podcasts and conversations in this space end up going at some point. What would get you back there? Like, what's the tentpole title that you need from Sony to get you back there? Because it's difficult to split your time over all platforms.
Well, we have a topic that's coming up soon, but I would say
Is
like
that number 5? I'll talk about it then.
If yeah, we have the Bungie stuff. Like, we weren't gonna go deep into the Bungie stuff, but if ever PlayStation would put like exclusively any of the Bungie stuff there, like we know Marathon's coming everywhere, and Destiny 2 is gonna stay everywhere. But like, if for instance they had a Destiny 3 pop in there, and it was only on a PS6 or something, that's definitely a game that would drive me. And obviously anything God of War, and anything from that studio, like Santa Monica, anything, I would probably pick it up. Yeah, that's my answer.
Mine's obviously The Last of Us 3. That goes without saying. Like, that's clearly a day one for me. Spider-Man DLC would get me back on my PS5 for sure, because I actually really like Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not going to ask Asa about that, because this is an Xbox podcast, Headley. Goddamn shit.
Well, I mean, you were the one that said that you hadn't unpacked it. So, like, if there needs to be a reason for you to unpack hardware, that's usually a title that you can't play anywhere else.
Yeah, let's
PlayStation
talk
has
about
several of those, which is
especially
the one
when having one of those things in a suitcase doesn't actually save any space. So, like, really, that's one device to one suitcase is freaking huge. You're not saving any space by not unpacking it. Like,
you're right. What? You're a quippy one today, Asa. What? Did you get good sleep? Did you get good sleep? You
He's
slept
recharged.
well.
I haven't slept for like a
think.
week. Terrible sleep.
Anyways, let's talk. You want to just go into the Destiny stuff, and let's jump into that. That would be quick.
Can I very quickly do my 2 games?
Yeah.
The 2 games that are left on my list. Be really, really quick.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I have an unusual amount of games. Next one is Apex Legends. I jumped in there for a bit. Managed to get a W, which
me
was
too.
very, very satisfying.
Not a W.
Nice. Did you?
I barely even looted a hat, which is all I wanted from the damn game.
Do you like Apex, Asa?
No, I freaking hate it. Yeah, I'll play it, but I hate it.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'm not typically a Battle Royale fan, is my thing. So Apex is like my favorite of them, but I'm not a fan of the whole run around for 10 minutes, die in one encounter, do it again. There's a couple updates that have been added since I last got in. My favorite one, personally, is there are machines that you can interact with around the map. I think I want to say they're called ring consoles. Or I think fabricators work in the same sort of way. So terminals around the map that you can access. They can now recall your teammates' banners. If your teammates have been downed, they've been executed, they are out of the game, but their loot boxes are also out of your battle royale arena, circle, zone, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, it's not exactly safe for you to go into that and try and retrieve the banners all the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's a risk worth taking, but most of the time, especially late game, it's not. The new terminals have been added, and again, don't know when, because I've been out of the loop with Apex for like a year, but if you used to play it and you haven't been on in a while and that thing pissed you off, there is now a machine that lets you recall those, which means that your teammates don't just give up and piss off when there's no hope of getting them back in. So that's quite nice. Generally, still feels really good. It's really fun to play. I like Apex Legends a lot, so I'm glad to be back on that. And the last game that I have played, shout out in chat if any of you have played this, or if either Asa or Gamzly, either of you have played it. I've been playing. Couldn't resist. I've been playing Army of Two on the Xbox 360.
which I really really liked when that came out. I used to play that co-op with a good friend of mine. I'd never really played it single player very much when I was playing natively on an Xbox 360. It's a little bit weird in single player. You're using the D-pad to command your teammate. It largely revolves around something called the aggro system. So if you're either blind firing over cover or just straight out in the open, just taking lots and lots of shots at the enemies, you will draw more aggro to yourself. That creates opportunities for your teammate to flank round, neutralize the enemies that are shooting at you, and then you move on. And it's that sort of cycle. Style wise, it's kind of like if Call of Duty had a baby with It Takes Two. It's largely all co-op based. It's very Fast and Furious-y, ever so slightly like Andrew Tate went on some sort of acid trip and came up with an idea for a video game. It's all a bit ridiculous, unnecessarily masculine, ever so slightly stereotypical in some iffy ways for a game that was made in 2006, maybe. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it was good fun. In the spirit of the Xbox 360 marketplace closing, I thought I'd jump back into an old game that pops into my noggin every now and again, and I had a good time with that.
Yeah,
those are all the games that
makes sense. That is a good number of games. You should have just pretended and spread them out over a few weeks, but yeah.
Oh, fuck. Seriously, why didn't I do that?
Also, you know what's really, really good and you haven't beat? Hellblade. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I actually do need to do that. I'll be in the first one.
Maybe a spoiler cast. Maybe talk about it with us a little bit instead of watching Lost for like 7th time.
It's too late now. I can't even remember the game anymore. Go on, Gamzly, bring us into a topic.
All right, so honestly,
sorry.
Listening.
Correction, Gamzly.
I'm not. What did I do? I guess I'm gonna. So, anyways, Deadly. How about you lead us into the next? Okay, let's talk about. We could have segued into this super good, but thankfully, Deadly played great games this week, and we had to sidetrack. But anyway, let's talk about Destiny 3. Let's do Destiny 3. Is Destiny 3 coming out? All the Bungie layoffs. What's going on with Bungie? Let's talk about Bungie. Let's do that. That's a hot topic of the week. What's going on with Bungie? What's happening with Bungie? What do you think about these layoffs? Will we see a Destiny 3? Is Marathon going to be okay? What's going on? Are we going to see these games do well? Do you think the restructuring will help them out here?
I think it's difficult to say from the outside. It always is on these things, but I have had iffy feelings about Bungie's leadership since well before they were acquired by Sony. So I'm not sure that structural change is necessarily bad, or the people that have been caught in the collateral damage. It's bad for them, obviously, and I'm not trying to trivialize their losing their work and their passion. But so Marathon's a weird one because Bungie have traditionally been really good with art, and they've done some good campaigns, but I'm torn on whether I even care about an extraction shooter. So there's a chance that it blows me away and turns out to be something brilliant, but it's not a game that I've had any confidence in anyway since it was announced. And it is quite noteworthy that whenever they're talking about the layouts in the projects and what Bungie are going to be doing and what they're not, they very specifically refer to Destiny 2 in the most recent conversations that they've had. They don't say the Destiny IP, they say specifically Destiny 2, which makes you think that they're going to be dragging that one out for a while longer, which isn't necessarily good or bad. Putting out a sequel to a live service game is always a weird situation. That's why we've still got World of Warcraft and not World of Warcraft 2. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get much else coming from them besides focusing on those as service games for as long as they can. And maybe they'll be good and maybe they won't. What about you, Deadly Headley? What do you think's going on there? Go on, Gamzly, if you want.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. I really enjoy Destiny. I think
No, you don't.
Destiny
You've
2.
never played Destiny, not even once.
I did.
No, you
You
told me
liar.
before the show.
Also liar. So you call me Gamzly, and then you call me. What is this?
Do you know what? This is mostly a coping mechanism because whenever we're playing shooting games, you don't come and play with us on the Sunday. So I figured you just don't like playing them. But actually, I don't know. Like either Gamzly doesn't like us or he doesn't like Destiny. It's hard to tell what's going on. Which one's the truth?
First off, okay. If okay. Let me put you straight. First off, Destiny has a campaign, all right? It's quick, it's got abilities, it's shiny. It takes a long time to kill people, when you shoot them in the face, you have shields, right? It's not a Twitch shooter, all right? Like Call of Duty and stuff like that. It's not, it's just a lovely dungeon game that you run around with friends and get loot, all right? So that's what I like playing because I don't have to be competitive and lose all the time, right? So if I play Call of Duty and I'm running around with you guys and I can't carry you like I do in League of Legends, I'm going to be really sad and get really angry really quickly. So I tend to stay away from that and stick with my single player / multiplayer looter games. But yeah, Destiny 2, I have a ton of hours in with multiple friends on multiple characters. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it a lot. And Bungie is in their bag with the recent DLC, right? They did phenomenal there, and it's quite sad to see such a large group get hacked right after a performance like that, right? Because it happened. When did the DLC come out? Like last month? It's a while now, right?
Oh, I don't know. Dave Mac knows. He's the only one I know that got it.
Yeah.
Within the last couple of months.
Yeah. So it's really sad that that's what happens, but I guess business is business at this point. When it comes to Marathon, I don't really actually have faith in Bungie anymore because that's the one thing that's terrible and they don't care about in Destiny has been the PvP, right? And it's so strange coming off of like Halo. Like this is an ex Halo dev, right? That just had some of the best Halo experiences in multiplayer to come out ever, and it's just Destiny 2. They neglect it so much. It's just not a very pleasant experience, in my opinion. So, I don't really have faith in Marathon either because they haven't really showed me that they care about PvP stuff much. They just care about that,
I am gonna come at this from the opposite angle because I'm not really a fan of Destiny, and I really want Marathon to be good. I want to see what Bungie can do with another IP, and I'd be up for an extraction shooter. I haven't played many extraction shooters. I think the closest I've probably come to one is what's it called? The Division, but even then it's only sort of extraction based in the Dark Zone specifically. I don't really think it's comparable personally. But Marathon is something that I've been excited about since it was announced. It's got like a few sort of vague links to Halo, so it definitely tickles that little fanboy in me as well.
But does it really?
So I quite like the vibe of Marathon. I quite like sci-fi stuff generally. I don't know. I think the art trailer that we've seen piques my interest a lot. I also think that I think that Marathon is quite an important IP for Sony specifically as well. Not in terms of exclusivity, because like we said, as far as we're aware, that's still coming to Xbox. I don't think that will change, but I also actually wouldn't be surprised if Sony had sort of weighed it up and gone, do we protect our platform a little bit and row back on that promise for Xbox and just go for PC and PlayStation? There's a chance that they could. I don't think they will, because I actually think that the MAU and the microtransaction money that they're gonna want from Marathon is going to be really important to them. So I think they will try and launch that in as many places as possible. This Marathon for me feels like the crown jewel in Sony's gas strategy, especially now that we've seen The Last of Us Online fall through as well. Like they struck. I think they struck largely luck, but I think that's also insulting to the developers who clearly put the work in. I think Hellblade 2, not Hellblade 2, Helldivers 2 did particularly well on PC for them. So there's clearly something there in terms of launching to multiple audiences, launching a live service game. It's got legs. Helldivers 2 is still quite high up in the MAU charts that we've seen over the last quarter as well. So it's clearly doing something right. They're going to want that same payoff with Marathon as well. So I think that Sony's going to be very careful with how it's handled. The question comes back to Bungie's capability and Bungie's management, or apparent lack of management, following how we've seen this handled by both Bungie and Sony.
Yeah, and that's why I don't really have faith in Marathon, period. Right? Again, if you look at how they treat Destiny, like Destiny 2 multiplayer, which had a ton of potential, by the way. When you see them, how they treat that, and then you see them drop the ball in managing multiple things, including money. It's a really strange place to be for Bungie at the moment, which, I mean, was on top of the world, or mostly we think was on top of the world like a year ago or a couple, 6 months ago. It's one of the biggest IPs out there at the moment. It's crazy big. It's bigger than we think. To close my thoughts on all this, more things are coming, right? So even for Xbox, PlayStation side, I think more things are going to be restructured. People aren't spending a ton on any platform at the moment, which is crazy. Again, I'm going to re-say it. The economy is terrible right now. So even the whales that have been spending more and more, or keep spending, are the ones carrying most of the things at the moment, right? It's not the middle or people that are less fortunate. It's the whales right now are really holding up the industry. And it's quite scary at the moment. So shout out to Bungie and the rest of the people. Hopefully find some jobs and stay afloat. And as for Destiny IP, I just hope I see a 3. Because I just want them to upgrade that series a little bit, but I doubt there's a chance for that anymore, right? It's just going to be Destiny 2 forever, I guess. But I don't
know.
Anyway.
That's more of a question for the people that played the final shape, because from what I heard as very much an outsider, that was supposed to wrap up Destiny 2, story-wise and content-wise. So either it does or it doesn't.
Well, there's still things open, and it's like the end game moment, but the end game moment just opened more things, so it's not really, not as closed as
I hope that they do a Destiny 3, because I will be way more likely to play Destiny 3 than to try and get back into Destiny 2, because it's got that live service issue where so much has happened and so much has changed that I don't feel like Destiny 2 is going to welcome me back. I think a lot of the Destiny 2 player base are probably ready to move on to a sequel. It's a bit different to World of Warcraft in that sense. I mentioned them because it's a notorious 20-year problem that Warcraft has had, where people are kind of expecting and assuming that there would be a World of Warcraft 2, and then the realization that it will be impossible to release a Warcraft, or like a World of Warcraft that compares in content and scale and all the rest of it, and doesn't let people down. And it's a lesson that Blizzard learned a long time ago, but it's a thing that faces Destiny potentially. Whether they carry on with 2, whether they go to 3, I don't know. Speaking of massive IPs though, because we've got some others to talk about, I mentioned earlier the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies mode of Call of Duty wasn't to my taste. I didn't enjoy it very much, but today we saw some gameplay of the Terminus map of Call of Duty Zombies from Black Ops 6, which brings things way more in line with what I would expect and hope to see from a zombies mode in Call of Duty. Deadly Headley, have you absorbed this? Do you have thoughts?
As much as I have had the time to be able to absorb this, yeah. And actually, Asa, in the Discord, there is some helpful footage. There's either the trailer that was put out, or there is I want to say 7-minute long IGN piece. I know you don't usually like using IGN stuff.
I actually
so I'll
don't
leave that
have
on.
any problem at all putting up their original stuff, which that would be. So
Okay, cool. Fun fact was also narrated by Paris Lilly, which was unexpected because I don't usually hear him doing IGN stuff. I know he appears on the podcast every now and then, but yeah, irrelevant. So the main headlines for the Black Ops 6 Zombies mode is that it is going back to round-based zombies, which is really, really cool. So if you played, I know my favorite was the zombies mode on Black Ops 1. Very, very fond memories at uni. Playing Black Ops 1 with my mates, usually with some sort of takeaway pizza, just in the middle of the room, some beer, more often than not, quite stoned, just playing round after round after round of Call of Duty Black Ops and talking shit while gathering zombie trains and just having a brilliant time, just trying to get to the best round that we could. So that style of play is back, which is really, really cool. The footage that Asa has kindly just put on screen now for us is looking great as well. I'm just going to read some notes, helpfully summarized by Xbox community member Clobril on Twitter. Round-based zombies are back. Zombies introduces a new save and quit feature for solo play, which is really good. So if you're trying to get to the best round that you can, but you haven't really got the time to commit to like essentially an endless game until you die, having the option to save and quit is a really nice feature. You can play in either first or third person. I don't really know why you'd play Call of Duty in third person, but apparently that's been an option in the game for a little while.
So you can see the skins that you spent money on.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Whole reason that Fortnite is third party. Money.
Third person. Yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
It makes absolute sense.
Good slip.
Yeah. Wow. That's like someone's just explained the Matrix to me, and my sort of worldview is kind of just shattered. Like, I was already cynical, but fuck me, Asa, you've really broken me there. What else have we got?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's always a good thing knowing more
options,
for better or worse.
Options are a good thing. Doesn't it infuriate you in some of these like first person games that are like, for me, Valorant, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Not having an option to go third.
I really want third person mode.
I
in
hate
Cyberpunk.
it.
I think Cyberpunk is built for third person. To have a third person mode, like the with how stylized the world is, with how you can't. Not without a mod anyway. Driving is third person, but all gameplay in Cyberpunk is first person only. And I'd love to see it in third person, because there's all this customization that you can put in a V, that third person camera of like really putting your character in this world that's really immersive and really stylized and it just designed in this incredible way. It feels like such a shame to cut off your field of view to being first person only. I get it. I get, from a game design perspective, it makes it a lot easier to create a good first person experience without having to think about how a third person experience is then compromised. But
shout out to Call of Duty.
With monetized games where you're paying for skins, you kind of want to see the skin. It's really depressing. Aces kind of ruined Thursday for me because I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad.
First I got Gamzly. Now I'm feeling it for Deadly Headley.
If you fucking say, if you say Gamzly one more time, I'm gonna
Yeah.
that means I'm gonna freak out. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. What?
Third person.
Where were you guys on zombies in Call of Duty generally? Like, is it a mode that you particularly like, or have you always avoided it? You like?
Well, we know
guys like it.
We know Asa doesn't like it, but I quite liked it.
Where'd you get that from? How could I not
top
like
of the
something that I
episode.
clearly don't play? I've not played Call of Duty Zombies until the current one, so I have no strong
Yeah,
feelings
exactly.
about
So
the
this is the
prior.
current
Yeah, but
one.
he's asking about the whole series, this is more of a return
Did
to,
you-
right? Because it used to be round-based zombies,
Yeah.
and the Black Ops games and the dev that's doing this one are the ones that are supposed to do the good zombies games. And I'm watching the footage now and going, yeah, this is like what I wanted from Call of Duty Zombies was basically Left 4 Dead. Maybe some variation on that, but for pacing, feel, and mood, that's just what I expected it to be. And this is pretty much what I was expecting when I jumped into this one.
What an excellent
This would be a
trailer
really
too.
great stream game. In fact, just had an idea. We don't necessarily have to commit to it now because obviously,
I won't.
diaries are what they are. This game is coming out October 25th. We have a show on Halloween night. There is a chance I'm not here that week, but if I am here that week, maybe we do a little community play stream.
Oh, dude, I could wear a
after the show,
costume. I could
it would be a very streamable game.
I could wear a costume as a zombie. I just, put on a wig and, do up
should.
my face and my arms do the rest of it,
Yeah. Asa
why a
did
wig?
fantastic costume work on
I don't
the
know.
Halloween game on daily shows. I'm a big fan of those. Because I remember I think the first game on daily show I watched was Asa dressed as Craig. But I
Yeah,
didn't know they were
oh.
doing a Halloween one.
No, nobody else was. It was just me. Yeah, I did a really good one with the head in the jar thing another year,
It was
but
good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one. That was really good.
We're gonna get this going. Anyways, that's a good idea, Headley. I like it. I like that.
Yeah, maybe
a
we
lot.
do.
I don't know.
Like certainly around Halloween, do like a like a panel Black Ops Zombies stream because I think this is a very streamable game type. Yeah, I think it'd be really
It's
fun.
gigantic, but yeah. What other updates are there?
Let's have a quick look. There is a huge article on the Call of Duty website that goes through everything. Largely, it's going back to the style of zombies that if you liked older zombies modes in Call of Duty, that'll be for you. Honestly, that's about where my expertise ends because this news dropped about 3 hours ago. So
Yeah, what I will say is that everything that they're showing, including zombies, about this of this game, it looks pretty awesome. I can't believe I'm actually hyped about this because this looks awesome. I'm just rewatching the trailer as we're watching it on the stream. This looks so cool. They cut the trailer properly. It looks awesome. Their marketing team on this game is great. Their edit team is great. I mean, this is getting me pumped. And now we know why they spent so much money on this this IP. It just has so much star power. But that's all I gotta say about that. We can move on. But I'm super pumped for this.
yeah,
good. What are we
this is
moving
gonna
on
be
to?
really cool.
We could, Deadly Deadly started the zombie one. So you're gonna pick one because I started with the Destiny talk. So you pick one, Asa. What do you want?
No,
What are you
I
gonna
won't.
dabble in? Yeah, pick one.
I'm not picking anything.
Do it.
Nope.
You know what? We're gonna just
Or we'll
Stay
make
silent.
you do the Xbox hardware
silent.
sales story. We're doing.
Yeah, go on then. We'll do that. That's in
Okay,
Gamzly's
fine.
document.
I was
says
kidding.
Xbox
You know-
hardware still on massive decline, but software doing well. That's a topic that Gamzly put in there. So
No, that's Boom Show. God damn it. Listen to me. Let's go with this topic here. Uh, this one I'm gonna highlight. So Discord. You could
Yeah.
stream. What is it? You could stream your Xbox games. What's up? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Don't worry, everyone. Yeah, so Xbox's Discord integration is pretty decent, pretty good, but they've introduced what is actually a very good feature for the Gaming Arcadia Discord. Because one thing that Discord does that gets used very heavily over in our little community is the streaming. We've got multiple streaming lounges, and people just hang out in there and stream the games that they're playing. And up to this point, console users have been a little bit left out because they could join in and talk to people, but they couldn't watch the various streams that are going. That is all changing. The Xbox integration is improving. People that are in the community playing on an Xbox, I don't know.
For anyone wondering why we're laughing, by the way, we were in the little news doc that we prepare between us before each show, and Asa just decided to delete the topic that Gamzly tried to get him to introduce.
No, but it was so good because I highlighted it, but as I was highlighting it to talk about it, he just hit delete. It just deleted my that threw me off completely. Yeah, so let's talk about. I think this is awesome. I think this is an awesome feature. People clearly want this stuff. A lot of the people in our Discord really use this feature a lot on PC, and actually Chronic shouted this out to me in a message, and so he clearly likes the idea. So yeah, this is a big thing. This is cool. It seems like Xbox is getting Xbox is getting a lot of support on Discord, even though they didn't actually make that partnership we heard about, a long time ago. Or was it a partnership? They wanted to buy Discord, huh? That was the thing
both things have gone around. Yeah, there was lots of rumors that they wanted to, that they even got as far as bidding for it and all the rest of it. One, excuse me, one thing I missed. Sorry, Pete, I've missed yours before. I'm a terrible host. So Pete has used his 13-month member milestone chat. He says, at Gamzly, come play with us on Sunday just once. Aren't you feeling compelled to come and join us on the community games now?
Just for Pete, because I love Pete. But everybody else, you bunch of schmoolies. You bunch of schmoolies is what you are. Gamzly, I don't want to hear it, I'm not showing up. There's no way, Pete. If you drop the Gamzly, yes, I will do it.
It's not
to be
worth
fair,
it.
Pete's just written your name. It's not his fault, so don't channel your rage towards him. Deadly Headley.
Yeah, so where were we?
Deadly Headley was going to talk to us about Discord integration on the Xbox, because you don't even use a PC really for Discord, do you? So is this going to change things up for you?
No, I don't. So this is something that one of our community members, Chronic, has been getting me to look at as well. I might start doing some community streams at some point. I need my schedule to get a little bit less mad, which I'm hoping happens soon, because I'm also missing doing things like YouTube content creation. By the way, if you have not checked out my content, please make sure that you do on YouTube, looking for Deadly Headley. Yeah, it might be something that I look to do in future, to try and just do a little bit more community stuff. It's good that console players are giving more, just being given more options to share things with their friends. I think that's really good. That's really positive. So yeah, good move from Xbox and Discord to do that.
It is. Like you say, Chronic is in the streaming lounges an average of 27 hours a day. So I don't know how he does it, but he's 27 hours a day in the streaming lounges. They are busy places.
He goes to a different time zone for like 3 hours every day. It's wild.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know how Chronic does it, living up to his name. Chronically in pain. Probably. So let's go to. Do we have anything else to say about that? No. All right. So let's
Hmm.
move on. It's really cool feature. I like it. I dig it. I won't use it, but anyways, let's talk
You do use
Avowed.
it, you
We'll go.
swine.
No, yes,
Do
but on
you
PC.
stream
All
League of
right.
Legends? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So Avowed. Let's talk about Avowed. So I'm think Avowed into Playground and then the ABK spin-off studios. I think we go in that order. So let's start
Spoilers.
with Avowed. Avowed Delay until February. How are we
Bloody
feeling about this?
apple.
I'll go. Eh?
Called you a bloody apple.
Why'd you call me an apple?
I didn't call you an
That's
apple.
rude.
Deadly Headley was doing his thumbs up Apple software tricks.
Speaking
Rude.
of thumbs up, please make sure you hit the like button, by the way.
Speaking of thumbs up, I need one. So anyways, Avowed delayed. Avowed delayed
That was good.
until February next year. So let's talk about that. This actually hurts me because out of all the games that were coming out this year, this one was my favorite and biggest, like the most anticipated, and this just kicked me in the face. I hate this so much, but I also want it to be very good. I don't really. You guys are gonna remind me why they did it. I guess it was just packed and they're trying to make it the best, polished as possible. But this whole year is pretty stacked, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah, this sucks. This is a big delay for a game that could do well in that time slot or a later time slot this year. But yeah, I'm bummed out. I'll say more on it. How about you guys? What are you feeling about this delay?
Hey, so do you want to
Well,
go first?
for me, it's always a relief when there's less games to play because I haven't finished Cyberpunk yet. There's a lot of games that I haven't finished yet, and I wanted to finish specifically, obviously, Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 before Avowed comes out, being set in the same world and setting the scene for it. They've said that it's not necessary to play those, but they're my kind of game anyway, and I would like to get through them. So this one being delayed to February lets me maintain the delusion that I might get those other two games finished before it comes out for just that little bit longer. Microsoft's stated reasoning for it is just to move out of the crowded holiday season. There's too many other games. They don't want to cannibalize playtime and sales of everything else. I don't really care if that's true or false. It's immaterial, really. Fact is, it comes out in February now, and I will play it in February. Not feeling hurt. What about you, Deadly Headley?
I'm largely in the same boat. My backlog is already pretty full. I still need to finish Baldur's Gate. I'm really excited about Starfield Shattered Space. I want to finish Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty and Assassin's Creed Mirage now as well. And there's loads of content on Game Pass that I also want to pick up. So I'm good for games for the rest of this year. There is a hell of a lot, and that doesn't even get into things like Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new Call of Duty coming out as well. Like, there is just so much content. The frustrating thing is that Xbox didn't have anything to pad out the start of 2024, really. But you could also argue we were in similar situations in that the backlog from 2023 was absolutely insane because it was. 2023 was an incredible year for game releases. The middle of this year has been dry as fuck. I don't think there are really any two ways about it. But again, I've had a backlog to keep me going. I'm okay, but I understand the frustrations from people who are really excited about Avowed. What does annoy me about Xbox's release schedule is that they've put two RTSs back to back and prioritized those over Avowed, and they're not saying that Avowed isn't done yet. Like, Avowed's in a really good spot. They're moving it because the back end of this year is too busy. It's busy if you like RTSs and you're on PC, but like, there's a fucking gap that you could fill if you wanted to with Avowed at the same time as you're releasing Aura History Untold, which isn't even coming out to consoles. But I don't know.
Do you think they're scared of Dragon Age at all in terms of
probably.
overlapping time?
Because I think because they say this about new IPs, right? Like, Starfield had to be very carefully timed as well, because again, it's a new IP. It's not something that's been tried and tested, even if it's coming from a studio with the pedigree of Bethesda. I would put Avowed in a similar category. You don't want it going up against another fantasy RPG like Dragon Age. You also don't want
I
it
didn't think about
competing.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that at all.
I
Yeah,
to
that
be
would have been
fair, I
tough.
didn't until Dutch and Boxenberger pointed that out on their show last week and said the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
Yeah, I guess them having Avowed in February makes that year start off with like that idea that one per quarter thing, and them
Yeah.
finally having a beginning of the year game to drop,
hmm
you know?
hmm
And at the end of the day, because I'm talking myself down from being disappointed, right? Because I'm one of those fans that this talked to, and I'm an Xbox guy. And first party wise, it's been a little bit stale for me on Xbox. Even though I'm a huge every week I talk about the Game Pass games. But if I'm not a Game Pass person, um, and I'm an Xbox person, I bought an Xbox for, let's say, a first party studio or a game I'm interested in. Um, yeah, it hurts a little bit, right? Because you're like, well, what am I getting, right? What's my food? Um, so I'm talking myself off the ledge, and the more I think about it, is like, yeah, it's true. And this year is packed. There's so much games that I haven't played to completion. Kind of like I still have to do Elden Ring DLC that I love, right? I have all these Game Pass games that I'm dipping in and out of. Um, yeah, there's just too many. You're right. There's too many games out there. I'm a huge Diablo fan. I'm a huge Starfield fan, and to see those DLCs coming out in like later in the year too.
Yep.
Oh my God, where am I gonna have time? And Dragon Age as
Stalker's still
well. Yeah,
slated for
it's
this
like
year
it's
as well.
crazy.
It's
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, I guess that's a
And
good
Indiana
shout.
Jones.
Yeah,
Indiana
yeah, I
Jones
guess
as
it's a
well.
good shout. But yeah, still a disappointment. Look. I I know that in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually matter, right? Because we're not playing console war at all, right? Um, but I will say, I just hope that this is not an omen that they still can't just hit the release schedules, right? And they still can't hit a good enough cadence. I hope
Mm.
that this was just simply we have to just wait a little bit and not the short stick, not the Avowed is kind of disappointing, let's just or we don't know how to manage this or Avowed is not managed well or whatever the hell they think or are doing. I hope it's just not that,
Yeah,
because
but
Xbox has a history of doing that.
what does a zombie wig look like?
Listen, you little
Um,
I'm not going to get into
I
this.
think
Hmm.
a zombie wig is probably
No,
going
anyway,
to.
no, don't derail this. But yeah, that's
No, I was
I'm not.
actually going to talk about Avowed. I was.
No, but
Um,
anyways,
go
I
on.
just hope I hope they figure it out, and I hope we get that. I hope Avowed is great because I want it to be very great, like the rest of their games have been.
Mhm.
So let's we can move on.
Everything that we've seen from Avowed so far seems quite promising. I
To
think,
most
like we
people,
said,
well,
it's.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the deep dive that we got in E3 week. I thought that looked good. Um, the I actually quite like the look of it when we got the developer direct back in February of this year as
Hmm.
well. I think Avowed launching at the start of next year in February time, which is typically can be quite quiet, and it launching on Game Pass as well. I think potentially that might do some favors for um Xbox users who may be, so let's say hypothetically, probably likely that both Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo are gonna shift some hardware during the holiday period. They always do. It seems to be the biggest sort of sales period generally for platforms when holiday sales start and all that sort of thing. Um, we are yet to see what is likely to be marketed with console hardware around that time of year, but I would expect that something like Indiana Jones is probably going to move quite a lot of boxes because it's a very recognizable IP. It's a really known quantity, and I can imagine Indiana Jones is probably going to be a decent hit for Xbox. I really hope that it does a good job in sort of doing the thing it needs to do to get more of the casual audience into the ecosystem with a recognizable IP. I think it's a really important step for them. If that happens and you've got a bunch of new users that jump into the ecosystem anytime between sort of November and 1st of January, at some point they're going to be looking for new content. And that's really where the value of Game Pass starts coming in, because the best thing about Game Pass for me is the fact that stuff constantly gets added to it. Sometimes it's really new, sometimes it's quite old, sometimes it's third party, sometimes it's first party, but that variety is there, and Avowed is going to kick that off for Xbox's first party offering. It's going to be quite an important release for them early 2025. So where they've positioned it, I think works. I'm not worried about the state of the game, like I've said, but like I said earlier on, it's really annoying that we've got games like Age of Mythology and Ara, and no offense to anyone who likes RTSs, that's cool, but like, I don't want to play an RTS. I want to play Avowed, and I could quite happily play Avowed in September, but you're not doing that, because all you're offering me is one game that I'm definitely probably not going to play, and one that I can't, because Ara History Untold is PC only. I think Age of Mythology is coming to Xbox, isn't it? But it's not really a game that I'm massively interested in, to be fair. So
I want to play everything, all of them, every game, apart from the ones that Gamzly recommends.
I'm
Gamzly.
No, Isla, I'm not going to fight you. Sorry. And that's mainly because I know you do actual fighting, and no, I'm not a coward.
Asa does too, and that see, as much as I hate Asa's giant and has longer legs than me, so I'm kind of frustrated about this. But yeah, I'll just kick you in the dick. It's fine. So let's just move on. I'm sorry. I will say one last thing about it. Like, if you look at the most trending games at the moment, which is crazy on the PC's Game Pass kind of end, Diablo has been there forever. Like, it's been consistently. You keep doing that. Can you stop? Anyways,
no.
You're throwing me off, man. Yeah, the Diablo has been on a trend on PC Game Pass for a very long time. It's got that little heat sign on the top corner of it for a very long time. The DLC is going to be massive. Like, there's just so much to fill time, especially on the live service end, including Black Ops 6, not to mention, like you said, Indiana Jones is coming out at the end of the year. So yeah, I guess Avowed would probably get lost a little bit in the crossfire there. Okay, so that's it. Asa, you have one last thing to say, or we can move on to the next thing?
Move on. I'm hungry.
All right. Listen, you're a robot. You don't eat. You get oil changes. Xbox heart. No, not gonna do that. What did I say? After this, let's go with the studios. Okay, do it one more time. Oh man. Okay. The studios. Let's go with the new ABK studio that's spinning off to make like spin-offs of all the ABK stuff. I think this is an exciting thing. So ABK is building a studio to, like I said, build kind of this double A versions of their already existing IP. I think that's mega interesting. Like, imagine, to me, what pops off the page is like Warcraft stuff that isn't World of Warcraft, and you can actually go hack and slash maybe. And I think that's like there's so much gold to be mined there. Or I don't know, a StarCraft shooter, something along the line, a horror game in the StarCraft series. Huge promising kind of accolade there. What do you guys think about this new spin-off studio that they're doing for their games?
If they teased anything, revealed any sort of like who's running it?
No.
Do we know who's?
Well, not much information on it. Go ahead.
I'm not even sure how legitimate the rumors are, honestly. and it feels a little out of place to get rid of the likes of Toys for Bob and other studios, and then start forming new teams that could have been filled with those people that are just gone. So I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. I'm in theory, I like the idea to have a kind of more mobile, more agile, faster developing team that can be a little bit more experimental because they've not got the burden of a giant budget on everything that they're making. So it could potentially play out to be something really good. Obviously, with Game Pass being one of Microsoft's primary focuses as a model, they do have a certain amount of risk mitigation in there because they are just providing content for a service rather than needing everything to stand on its own and make its own budget back, as it were. So it could be exciting, but I don't put much stock in it because it's such early days, and it's just like, who knows what's actually going on there, really.
Really.
I haven't really got much more to add, and I think in the same sort of vein, kind of leads us into another story, but this ever so slightly more concrete, because the wording from Playground Studios or Playground Games implies that they have a third studio. So this article comes from Samuel Talbot, Windows Central. The headline reads: "The developers of Forza Horizon and Fable at Xbox appear to be getting a third studio, but we don't know what for." The news comes from an update on Playground Games LinkedIn page, which has announced that the team has expanded to 3 studios. So it's, I think the question around this one is kind of sort of asking, first and foremost, what it is that they might be working on. We don't know. That's pure speculation. But also, I guess what the implication is here for Microsoft, because potentially they're feeling quite good about what Playground Games are doing if they're willing to invest in a third site for them to operate and make magic from. So, yeah, good, exciting news from there.
Yeah, the reason why I like the rumors from ABK and now like this little Playground thing going on, I just we had a lot of studio closures during restructure phases, right? We see with PlayStation, all the companies, Xbox, whatever. We see that happening. We don't get a lot of good news these days. This is definitely good news, growing a team, a third team within a big umbrella, at a studio that is reputable and very well managed, because I mean, we know that Playground can manage, and Playground can release games and hit a quality bar. So having teams within these teams, right, bigger teams, is a good sign. And having, when you buy ABK, you're buying a ton of talent, and I'm sure Xbox knows that. So where they're situated, where these studios are, matters a lot. So I rather have, let's say, under the umbrella of Playgrounds in the same environment, they make a separate team so they could actually manage them correctly and put out the games they want to put out and always have eyes on them and just grow together, and have ABK do the same thing within their studio, than having all of your pieces spread out way across the board, because that's just a freaking nightmare. So I like this strategy of what they're definitely restructuring strategically this time. And they definitely have a good idea on what to do, and they have so many IPs they could land. If all of this is true and it makes sense, and they're building these games within these well-managed places, I think Xbox can turn this ship around a steady, nail this content drip. But we're gonna find out. Playground, what I would like is like Playground making, oh my god, give me
Live service
just
game.
let Playground kind of do the Obsidian thing of like just experiment, like have them release something like a Grounded, but not grounded in like not that genre, but do something small and flex your muscles a little bit. Have the team flex their creative muscles. They're the ones that wanted Fable, so like they want to do things, so let them do the thing. I think it could only bode well for Xbox if they could pull it off.
Yeah, you're right. Like the reason that I'm skeptical when I hear about the rumors of the ABK new studio in particular is you're right that we've had so much bad news for the last year. Everyone's shrinking, everyone's getting rid of teams, all of these people are going. So it just like sits as odd, but actually, hopefully, it is a new studio. It is what it says on the tin. We are getting new people, new talent in making creative products and projects and all the rest of it. So hopefully, yeah, good environments, well managed, competent, quality releases. That is an exciting thing. It's just hard to grasp that might be happening at the same time as all the rest that we've been seeing for the last year and a half. But hopefully, it is. Mm-hmm. Anything else on the topics list?
Yeah. Let's pump. Let's do the rest as like a kind of a rapid fire thing, unless we want to go. Hold on, let me just quickly see this.
we got
we got that. I mean, we could call it out. I don't want to sit too long on it, so I'm going to rapid fire this. Let's try to rapid fire that one you highlighted, Headley, along with the other stuff. Hit delete now, Asa, and
I'll do it, Asa. To be fair, I think that was our last topic, so I think that's fine.
I hate you.
Okay. So there's two. It's these two are the only ones that we haven't covered.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one, guys, is Game Informer shutting down after a very long time. This actually sucks for me. I just like competent. Asa, I hate you. I like competent things. All right. Unlike this podcast and these people I'm sitting on the panel with, just want to sabotage my life. Guys, he deleted the entire page. I can't read anything. I don't know how to get it back. Okay. So Game Informer, I like competence, and Game Informer magazines and all that. The stuff they did was at least a competent thing. And when these structured things go away, I'm always sad and skeptical of everything else around it. I can't focus, guys. Can't do it. You know what? Take it away, Game Informer. Go.
What? No. Fine, I have your stuff back.
Sorry, it's just Asa deleting the entire news stock. We brought it back. And then he deleted it again and started writing the word psych.
I'm taking your powers away. I'm done. I'm kicking you out. But yeah, I truly think Game Informer was a good thing, and it being gone kind of sucks. But that's all I'm going to say about it. So rest in peace, Game Informer. It's what, 30 years-ish? I don't know how long. 20? I don't know. Upward of.
Yeah, it's been going
high
on
20s.
Yeah, definitely one of the first outlets that I followed. It's not one that I followed closely for a while, but it's definitely one of the more reliable ones that
It was a great. It was pretty great magazine when they were magazines, and it was a pretty great site. Obviously, bad apples spread out everywhere, but I mean, for the most part, very competent, and we need competent sites and news outlets and all that stuff. So. Kind of sucks. Anything to say about it? We can move on.
No, nothing.
Nothing?
Deadly? No.
Don't do it.
No, not for me.
All right. Rip.
Phantom Blade 0.
Okay.
Or Phantom Menace. Your choice.
You're right, Phantom Menace. I forget it. You know what? I'm not even going to look at it. I'm going a cappella. Right?
I don't know much about this story. I actually don't know a huge amount about Phantom Blade 0. I did see a developer potentially make a tit out of himself. I'm not sure. Or just say something a bit dickish. I don't know. What happened?
I guess this is why it's going to be really quickly. So there's a bunch of fuss from a bunch of fake sites and all these rumors going around that, dev was like from Phantom Menace, Phantom Blade Zero. Dev said something like, we who needs Xbox? We don't need them. Something along those lines, and it spread like wildfire, and people like, see, people are abandoning Xbox. Yeah. I'm gonna say this: where there's smoke, there's fire. Their statement back to the public was a little sus because they didn't condemn anything. They kind of just made it float in the air. They didn't say, "Oh, we didn't say that," or forget that. They're just like, "Yeah, our thoughts don't align with this so-called person that said the thing," right? But they didn't say they didn't say the thing, which is also sus. And I find that weird, but guys, it shouldn't be a surprise if things don't sell for certain companies the way that they like. They don't want to put too much emphasis on that thing or too much energy on that thing, and they keep it for last. So if they know that this game won't really sell well on a certain platform, they're going to prioritize where the money's coming from to make it stellar for the bigger platforms. And I think that's just what's happening here. I think some devs and some IP are being focused on the other platforms because simply that's where the resource is going to come from. And I don't really blame them for it if this is true, but yeah. Anyways, non-story, all a bunch of rumors, but where there's smoke, there's fire. So keep an eye on that. Anything else?
Nothing else. Like
It's
there is
annoying that
a
stuff like this keeps happening. Go on, Asa. Sorry.
yeah, they've got a perception issue in Japan in particular, haven't they? And lots of places where they need to get their presence to be more substantial before they are taken seriously by developers. You can't really blame the developers for that situation. It's just the reality of things. So, is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll get lots more games. Anything else?
Hardware's just gone up in price in Japan as well, hasn't it? So yeah, it's not really a great look all around.
Yeah, I think I said this on like another episode. I said like their biggest struggle in Xbox is going to be trying to just keep these really cool IP on their platform day one. Like that's going to be as they're restructuring, as they're shifting the ship, is to really just lock down all these high profile games and try to get them on their platform in the first place day one. That's going to be their biggest flaw. Like we talked about it, I believe when Wukong was having their little thing, right? Yeah, that's the last time we talked about it. Yeah, that's their struggle now to keep these people day one on their platform as they steer the ship. But that's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Next
Before
one.
we tackle questions, because I think that's our last topic.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you'd had any more time playing on cloud, specifically your brother's connection, because I know that was the one that you struggled to play on more so than your own.
Yeah. I played Ava. Ava. I played the Creatures of Ava. I think that's it. On it, and I had a good time. It was artifacting a lot. It was like all that stuff. Every 5 to 10-ish minutes it would do that, but it would quickly like just go back to normal. But it didn't like impact my gameplay much, but you're not actually doing much in the game in the first place. Any like quick movements or whatever. The combat is pretty straightforward and doesn't need any precision at all, really. So I didn't really have a trouble with it. Yeah. How about you?
No, I haven't. But Creatures of Ava is one that I do want to check out, specifically on cloud, because it looks quite cozy and chill, and I think that'll be quite nice to hopefully play via cloud with minimal latency. So
I use cloud nowadays just so I don't have to download anything. Yeah. If I want to like play something really on a quick kind of have a quick playthrough, I just jump into cloud without really downloading it. If I don't know if I'm gonna like the game, if I don't know, I cloud it. All right. That's it. I think that's it for the topics. Unless chat wants to do anything Oh,
We got
thanks.
question time. That'll do.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
First one's up already. Immerstein, I probably said that wrong. Hey, gents, thanks for the good work. Do you see Gran Turismo coming to PC anytime soon? I hope so. With VR support, I would like to see that, but they've not said anything. So hard to guess. And obviously, the only reason that I particularly want that to go to PC is that Microsoft refused to let me play my Forza games in VR. So there's a massive gap for me that they could fill with that one.
I think it would do well. I think within the next year, I think we see it. But yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason why not. Everything else that they're doing is going over there, and that one, like you say, probably would do pretty well. There's always a big market for a good racing game. So, next one, please. Is that a comfy chair? No, Chronic, my ass is suffering. It's the same chair. It's horrible. Horrible. Heaven's Demise says, Gamzly, are you still playing Zenless Zone Zero? Also, did you see that it made, oh, it's disappeared. It made like 93 million in July. That's just off mobile too, since you can't track the money made from PC and PlayStation. So, Gamzly, do you still play Zenless Zone Zero?
Actually, on my mobile device, yeah. I told you, this is a fun, clicky game. It's really fun to play. I'm kind of hooked on it. But I feel like the claws are coming out. I got to a certain point where it's not really interesting me. I've unlocked most of the characters, and now I'm just, I don't know, micro getting better. So I don't see the point anymore. And I've gotten to a point where the story doesn't actually matter at all. Genshin locked me in more, just on the sheer fact that it's open world and I could explore and do all that good stuff, and it's more my jam combat wise. You're actually like really thinking most of the time, but in this game it's not as deep, it's not as big, so just losing traction faster. But it is a fun game.
Good, but not good. Never mention it again. Thank you for the question though. Next question, please.
I hate you. By the way, Heaven's Demise, we're gonna get that D&D going. All right, once Asa stops ignoring me, we're gonna get that game going.
I hope so. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to that. I just have less time than I did. Deadly Headley, you're not allowed to ask questions. We've got a question from Deadly Headley.
I thought of this last week while I was playing Assassin's Creed, so I figured I'd ask it.
It is a good question as well, to be fair. What are your thoughts on fast travel in games? Gamzly, you go first. I need to recover my tissue.
Dragon Dogma, that was the whole thing of Dragon's Dogma, right? That whole controversy as well of like, yeah, that you shouldn't fast travel, you should walk A to B. I loved how Dragon's Dogma did their fast travel. I didn't use it much at all. I did use it at very key moments that I thought, were useless to walk, because I think I got all the real-time events going like I knew the cycle already. So no matter how random you do a world, there's always going to be a cycle and some sort of pattern. So once I clicked onto the pattern, I was like, okay, I could start fast traveling a little bit more frequently. So I think you need a good balance with fast travel. If it's like Assassin's freaking Creed or whatever game that has a ton of fast travel points, it starts to get a little bit too checklisty, and I don't like that. So yeah, a good balance would be appreciated, like Dragon Dogma 2.
Yeah, it's a good question, Deadly Headley. It is a good question because it's one of those tricky ones where convenience is something that players will always opt for, even if it is to their own detriment. There's like a couple of great examples of that, and fast travel is one of them. The other one is like the dungeon finders in an MMO can actually undermine the game quite a lot. Or typically, just making things easy for yourself is very, very appealing. That's like the sugar rush of a game. But actually, what you lose out can be pretty significant. Like, I don't want to retread the same ground over and over and over and just waste time for the sake of padding a game out. But I also don't want to skip a well-designed world that's lovingly crafted and is supposed to be experienced properly. So there's not a single right answer, though. Like, devs have their own visions and their own.
Did you like it?
I loved
Dragon
it.
Dogma?
Wait, what? I'm not far enough. I've never fast traveled in Dragon's Dogma.
Okay, so
I'm not that far
you-
into it, to be fair, but I've never fast traveled because I'm just aimlessly walking around in that game waiting for shit to happen, and I do like that. I don't want fast travel. I fast traveled a million times in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because it's checklisty and it made me.
Final Fantasy.
And I didn't like that I was fast traveling, but sometimes you just got to get stuff out of the way. So there's not like a correct answer on it, but something to be handled carefully.
That was the correct answer. Just don't do that.
I try and avoid it if I can. On principle, I like going A to B the long way around. If I find that if I'm doing a quest where I literally have to be on the other side of the map in order to start it, and I've got a fast travel point, I might either go some of the way there or the entirety of the way there. But I think, like you said, it largely depends on the game that you're playing.
That's the beauty of stuff like Dragon Dogma 2. Like they do limit the fast travel stone stuff, like the instant fast travel, but you have that second option where you just could go on the not the goats. Oh my god, what are they called?
The ox things.
Get into the cart.
Ox carts,
the ox cart where it's like an in between, but there's a quick time event an event that can happen as you're traveling and as you skip the cutscene to travel. I think that stuff is just well blended and really well balanced, and I think a blend of the two would be appreciated. Or at least when you teleport somewhere, I don't know, have the same thing happen where you have a chance of something attacking you, every time you travel. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, yeah.
Cool.
Have
we got any other questions?
I don't know. We've got more questions. I have another question, please. Oh, I'm feeling shite, but that's okay. Nobody cares. Right. Dick Wingbat Shane has asked, am I still enjoying Call of Duty? Not right now. I'm on a podcast at the moment. I will play it again. Yeah, I will play it again. It is fun with the right people. I don't know if the game would necessarily hold up for me if I wasn't playing with people that I like, but I am actually enjoying it more than I expected to. Yes, we'll play it some more in the near future. Yeah, I guess that was directly for me. So next one, please. We don't have hundreds, Isla. We've nearly run out. Have we nearly run out? I don't know. Is Gamzly in a sticky situation with his new name pronunciation? This is from Pete.
Listen, Pete, you're going to be in a sticky situation pretty soon. Anyways, next question.
It
oh my god, are these all Gamzly?
They're all going to be.
Questions?
This is from Isla. We'll try to preserve Gamzly's new name. Sorry, Gamzly.
This is all for Gamzly's unfortunate pronunciation of the word GIF, which, even if the creator of the word GIF says it's correct, it's profoundly wrong.
I can't do this. Listen, if I hear Gamzly one more time, I can't threaten anything. Anyways, okay, I'll just accept it. All right, I am now Gamzly. I'll switch names immediately. All right, put the J in it. I will go full out just for you guys.
Thank you.
Any other
You've
question?
not actually got a choice, really. So, next question, please. It's Isla. It's not our fault that we found your pronunciation jarring. I'm gonna keep going. This is why we got 100 questions. Isla's feeling punny. Let's have another one, please.
It's gonna be from Isla, isn't it?
That one was, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, there's the next one.
Probably. Shout out to Gamzly. Yes, fuck you.
Oh?
Sorry, we can screw the lid on this now.
Okay, cool. Show's over.
Thank God.
Okay. This was a chaotic one. This was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Listen, GIF, who cares, all right? As I said, brotato, potato. It's all the same, all right?
Is that it? Was that the last one? Are we done with the questions? Shall we wrap up and go and have dinner? Shall we just shout out really quickly? Actually, I don't do shout outs, but actually, I quite like John and the Xbox Era thing that they're doing. So, little plug over there. They have a Kickstarter campaign at the moment for a Console Wars card game. I hate Console Wars, but I don't hate their card game because it is all in good fun. Collecting your various I don't even know how many players it supports, but you need to try and monopolize the console industry, collecting all the big IPs and winning over your fans, gaining that kind of, I don't know, it's a card game. Looks fun. If you're interested in it, do check out what they're doing, because it's quite an interesting little project, and it's cool that they're doing it. They had some success with their Kickstarter for their book, and I think it's pretty exciting that they're taking on another project on an even bigger scale.
Their Kickstarter for this has gone really, really well. I have backed it. I don't know if you guys have. I've gone for the standard edition. I'm looking forward to getting it out over Christmas and teaching my friends and family about stuff that they probably don't care about, which is why I do the podcast and they refuse to listen.
Jesus. Well, yeah.
They don't refuse
shout
to
out,
listen. They just don't care nearly as much as I would
shout
like them
out,
to, but that's fine.
shout out to those guys. Like they do some good work, and they're truly fun to listen to as well. So go support that. All right. Anything else?
I think that's probably
That's it.
where we're at, probably
That's
the
it.
end. So,
We'll
let's
talk about.
do.
Oh, sorry
I
to
forgot.
interrupt you. Nope.
No, you're
Nope.
not.
I'm interrupting.
So,
No, you are.
I am.
Nobody tell him I've muted him. But I feel rude. I can't carry on. Sorry, I totally muted you. So you were not doing anything then.
Did
Just to
you
prove to
actually
everybody that
mute
you
him?
can't interrupt me. Go on, carry on.
Can't
What were you going to
believe
say?
I can't believe it. Gamzly veto. I would like to point out some August games, but we'll get to that next week. We'll point out.
Yeah,
the
we've got more of
games.
August to go. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All
So
right, let's get to the outro.
we're going to wrap up and have some dinner. So, Deadly Headley, I know you've had lots of fun. Tell people that you love them and tell them what you're up to and where they can find you.
first of all, what are you having for dinner?
Green Thai
For
curry.
donuts?
Oh, sounds good. Nice.
What did you just say?
Green Thai curry.
What dinner?
Potato,
Well, Thai
Gamzly.
green curry.
I'm having potato. It's the only thing you understand. Let's
Green
carry on.
Thai. Okay.
Anyway, outros. Thank you guys for watching and listening, whether it is live or after the fact. We really appreciate all of you guys showing up every week. It means a hell of a lot. Obviously, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, share, all that sort of stuff. You can find me here every Thursday on the Xbox Series podcast at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern, or 12 p.m. Pacific. And you find me over on YouTube at Deadly Headley. Go and check out my content there if you haven't already. And you find me on Twitter at DeadlyHeadley _. Wait, hold on. We have a question. Apparently, we have a question from Second Mechanico.
I don't take well to the yelling though, so let's ignore it. No, we're not going to yell it. Either if you can grab that one, there it is. Which is the best?
That's a good question.
Biscuit.
Oh,
Strong.
dude, I got this. I got this so easy. Oreos.
Ugh, get out.
You don't got this.
I didn't think I was like passionate
Basic
on this
bitch
subject
of
because
cookies.
or is it?
I like either a Fox's Crunch Cream or a chocolate hobnob. Very, very partial to a chocolate hobnob.
Like
Chocolate hobnob? What is that?
Yeah, chocolate hobnob.
What's a hobnob?
It's so hobnob is like it's like quite an oaty biscuit. It's sort of ever so slightly like caramelly in flavor. I don't know how to describe it. It's quite oaty rather than like made specifically with sort of Google it, man. Come on. I don't it's
I didn't actually care.
I don't know, delicious.
I need to better understand the parameters of the question. Like, can we expand into cookies and things? But as you're getting good feedback, I'm going to say exactly the ones that you said. Great biscuit choices. Great biscuit choices. Yeah, I'm not an expert.
Don't you guys just do like, is biscuit like for tea? Or is that cookie? Like, is cookie and biscuits the same for you guys? What's going on?
No, don't get into the what's a cake, what's a cookie, what's a biscuit.
No,
it's too much.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm all right doing that. Okay, so cookies in the UK are typically like softer, more sort of like freshly baked treats, like a cookie out of the oven, typically in America. as more sort of homemade kind of stuff. Asa is tired, but it's fine. These are important questions. Biscuits are typically harder in the UK, but you could also conflate them with cookies. Like an Oreo cookie is what we would consider a biscuit here, but because it is called a cookie over the Atlantic, we kind of just respect that, I guess. We don't really.
Now repeat all of that because I didn't understand it.
No.
I know the difference. I know the difference. Anyways, we could let Asa go to sleep now. We could get into the outro.
Is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake?
I knew that was coming.
You find it in the biscuit. This is like a podcast all on its own. Asa, where are you on that? I'm kind of leaning towards old cake. Technically stale cake. It's
what if they're made fresh?
Can you get a fresh Jaffa cake? Actually, yeah, of course you could.
Well, it must be fresh at some point in their life cycle. Yeah,
this has gone properly off rails. Sorry, guys.
Too deep, John. You've derailed everything. You're a menace. Yeah. Yeah,
but his game sounds good. You should go and check that out. The Xbox Era Kickstarter. Go and check that out. The Console Wars card game looks really cool. It's been really well picked up by the gaming media and the gaming community and all that sort of stuff. Their Kickstarter is doing really, really well. So go and back it if you can, because I think it's a brilliant idea. So yeah, keep an eye out for
him so much attention. All right.
I knew that Pete would have a strong opinion about what a Jaffa cake is.
Oh, no.
He's got him swearing. It's going to start with the rage in a minute. Calm down,
John's
Pete.
putting a handy Kickstarter link in the live chat. Completely shamelessly, but fully supported by the Xbox Series podcast team.
Better put a thumbs up for me, bro. Anyways.
Bloody Apple stuff.
God.
Gamzly, it's your time for an outro.
Okay, I don't even want to anymore. Let's just go to sleep.
I feel bad that I called you Gamzly. Ruin everything. Won't stick.
Well, anyways, that's my name. Okay, so you could find me here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Who cares about the rest? For the Xbox Series podcast on the Gaming Arcadia YouTube channel to talk a bunch of schnit and play games with the community on Sunday. Well, Asa will. I won't. I'm just going to be doing Canadian things or uncle things on Sundays now. But yeah, so come join us. Come watch us. And for everything else and to learn about anything else I'm hopping on to, you can follow me at GamzlyTKD on X. And I'm usually on Boom's show every Monday at lunchtime. And that's all I got.
More than enough. Shut up, Gamzly.
Call me
Gamzly.
Uncle
Gamzly. I can't even. I'm ruined. I can't even consistently call you Gamzly. For me, I've not really fallen into a particular routine yet, so I don't know where you can find me and when. I'm in the usual places. There's Q&A on the Saturday, and obviously this show on the Thursday. And game streams and stuff happens as and when it can. At the moment, I will fall into a routine in the next couple of weeks and make things a little bit more consistent. For now, though, that is the end. So thanks for coming through and talking to us and keeping us entertained. Hope you had a good time. And we'll see you on another.
Black.
Yeah.